A key part of the Australian squad for the best part of a decade, Perry's skill doesn't stop at cricket. She's also a member of the Australian women's football team. Now, the dual international was in fact called up for international football just months after her cricket debut and has spent the rest of her career juggling between the two. Now, while an established star in the cricketing world, Perry's goal against Sweden in the quarterfinal of the 2011 World Cup shot her to stardom as a footballer. And now, with another World Cup under her belt in cricket, she took the chance to sit down with Beyond the Game's Santos about how she manages her double life.
And explain to us your incredible career, of course, dual international, Australian cricket and football. Which love came first?
To be honest, I think I started playing both sports at exactly the same time. One's a summer sport in Australia and the other's a winter sport. And I just started primary school and all my friends at school were joining local clubs for both sports. And I just thought it sounded great. And my dad's played a little bit of both sports as well. So it was just kind of an easy choice, and been very fortunate to have the experiences that I've had since playing.
And you probably get asked a million times, which one do you secretly prefer playing?
To be honest, I love them both. They're both really different. I think that's probably something that I really enjoy about it. Football is obviously a lot faster and more intense. It only goes for 90 minutes. Cricket can go for 5 days, so they're kind of different. It means that the cultures and the environments of the team are really different, and I think I've very much enjoyed going between the two over the last decade or so.
Do you have a football team that you support?
I've always kind of followed the Australians over in the Premier League, so I used to love Leeds when Harry Kewell and Mark Viduka were there. Probably Tottenham now, and we've actually just moved to Leicester, so Leicester City.
Oh, perfect. Now, growing up in Sydney, who were your role models at the time? You can talk cricket and football.
Sure. I loved Michael Hussey. He's my favourite cricket player, and I just really loved watching the way that he played and how much passion he had for the game and how much energy he brought to the game as well, especially for someone that debuted late in his career. I think he was a really special player. Football-wise, actually probably our greatest female player, her name's Cheryl Salisbury. She was very inspirational for me, and I loved watching the Matildas play when I was a kid.
I mean, you look at the way, let's talk about this tournament as a whole first for women's cricket. It certainly looks to be moving in the right direction as well. Compared to the Big Bash, that was huge in the success. Do you think that women's cricket is getting stronger and stronger and more coverage? Yeah,
absolutely. I think this is my third 50-over World Cup, and just the scale of it is so much bigger than past ones, the interest in it. I think the amount of time and investment cricket organisations are putting into the game and the value that they now see in the women's game is just grown exponentially. The game against England the other day, we basically sold out the ground, which was absolutely wonderful, and the atmosphere was sensational. I think it translated really well to the broadcast in terms of the quality of cricket played. I think probably, for one of the first times ever, the women in the competition just really feel like cricketers and professional cricketers, maybe rather than female cricketers. So, I think things have been really, really positive.
And on your last point, they're feeling like cricketers rather than female cricketers. Do you think that is a part of the media's problem as well, to get over that? I mean, look, for example, the Indian press conference getting asked, which is your favourite Indian male player? An absurd question. Is this the line of questioning needs to change in the broadcasting?
Look, I don't know. I think it's very hard to pinpoint one aspect. I think it's probably an evolutional change across all aspects of it. It's easier, I suppose, for journalists to perpetuate a story than it is to create a new one. So back home and probably around the world in terms of coverage of female sport in general, it's always been, I guess, pointed out that in a lot of respects, like it's not as a high level as men. The remuneration isn't there, but I think that narrative is changing a lot, and I think it's a lot more positive these days. It's about the wonderful achievements of female athletes, the way that the sport's progressing, the growing interest in it from both the media and the public, rather than, as I said, perpetuating a story that's probably pretty old and outdated now. So from that point of view, it's a really positive time in female sport and women's cricket in particular.
And you're a dual international. You're a role model for so many people growing up in Australian football and cricket. I mean, how do you have time to be yourself?
I think you always find time for things that you love doing, and I've always felt really fortunate to be an athlete and to call it my career. It's certainly a dream come true, but I think time away from what you do as well to keep fresh and maintain some balance is really important. And I think we're fortunate to have that as well, which I really enjoy. But I think whilst it lasts, which won't be that long, I love being an athlete.
And how would you like to be remembered?
Hopefully as having an impact on the game, and being successful as an Australian member, I guess, of our team. I think Australians really value sport and pretty proud in the achievements that we have across a variety of sports. It's a huge part of our culture. So as a team, we always feel really responsible to continue that and to play exciting brand of cricket as well. So hopefully I'm a part of that.